Donc bonsoir à tous, bonjour à tous. J'ai le plaisir d'accueillir la nouvelle star du Texas qui sera la tête d'affiche du festival et ce soir la tête d'affiche de la soirée, Matt Castillo. Matt Castillo est donc l'artiste qui vient directement du Texas en exclusivité pour le festival de Equiblues. Bonjour Matt.
Bonjour.
Peux-tu te présenter brièvement pour que nos auditeurs te connaissent mieux?
Yeah, my name's Matt Castillo. I was born in Austin, Texas, raised in South Texas, a town called Edinburg, Texas. And growing up there, my upbringing was influenced by my aunt and uncle and my mom, and I've always loved country music. My mom was my big person who influenced me. As soon as I was a little kid, we would listen to 90s country music, obviously because we were in the 90s. And her favorites were Garth Brooks, George Strait, Dwight Yoakam, Reba McEntire. And I would learn all the songs and try to memorize them for her. So when we were back in the car and we were driving, and I knew a song, I would try to sing it word for word and try to impress my mom. And I've always just kind of been all that. And so as a little kid growing up, country music was a huge thing. It was a huge part of my life. It was kind of like the air that I breathed. And it's funny because I used to stand in front of the mirror in the restroom with my headphones turned sideways trying to be Garth Brooks, and I try to sing all the songs, and my cousins would come in and they scare me and they try to just make fun of me, but I've always knew I wanted to do this, I just didn't know how. And so the fact that I can be in France playing my country music, and it's a blessing and it's an honor, and it's a memory I probably will never forget.
I would have been scared by Garth Brooks. Music.
You know, he's one of my guys that I would love to play with and write a song with. George Strait's another guy. I love Dwight. I think my music kind of says that, but I've been a huge Garth fan. I love his early stuff and the type of guy he is.
No, so that's great. Matt a répondu à la question 2 et 4, so you answered question 2
Number
and
2,
4,
right?
so let's go to number 3 first. That's fantastic. Tu as fait des études de kinésithérapeute et te voilà artiste. Comment fait-on une telle transition?
You know, I couldn't make my mind up of what I wanted to be in college, and I changed my major 3 times. I went criminal justice, communication, and then kinesiology. And I went the kinesiology route because it was the most easiest and quickest way to get out of college.
All right.
Because I wasn't ready. But getting kicked out of college my first couple of years, I had to move back up to Austin, Texas. And I went to community college, and that's when I found Texas country music. And that's when I found your festival at the time. But I was a big Randy Rogers fan, Jason Boland. I found Randy Rogers through a lady here who loved Dierks Bentley and saw him in Corpus, and before I moved up to Austin, she gave me the CD Live at Billy Bob's, and I learned every single song, start to finish. I could play it on the guitar. I've always imagined that if Randy's voice ever went out, I could jump on stage and pick up where he left off, kind of like what Toby Keith did with Merle Haggard when he lost his voice. But I fell in love with playing music. I used to go to open mics and try songs, play covers, and the first song I wrote was Dance All Night and Too Drunk Anyway, and I just kind of fell in love with what it was. I didn't know how much it was going to cost me to be in a band, but I love it. It's not about the money, but to be able to, again, write music and transition over to doing this full time was very scary, I'm not going to lie. I mean, this is all I do. This is my full-time job. I wake up, I try to do the best I can, I try to be good, I try to think of things that are going to help move my career along, and sometimes I haven't made a good choice, sometimes I make good choices, bad choices, but I've always wanted to put the music first, but it always starts with a great song, and I had to learn that the hard way, but once I found out that's what it was easy for me to transition, and most importantly, the reason I'm able to do this full time is I got a really good supporting cast. You know, I got a really good supporting cast who believes in me, and so they allow me to do this. And I can trust them, and they can trust me. And I think that's the hardest part. But my culture is about proving people wrong, right? I had to prove my aunt, my uncle, my mom, my cousins, my friends, my own close friends that this wasn't a joke, this wasn't a hobby. And so now I get to go back home and say, hey mom, hey aunt, hey uncle, I got to play in front of thousands of people in France. That's great.
Question number 5. Beaucoup de chemin parcouru depuis ton premier album aujourd'hui. Tu viens de sortir l'album Pushing Borders. pour lequel tu as écrit 13 titres sur 14, 13 out of 14. Quelle est la chanson que tu aimes le plus dans cet album?
Oh man, there's too many that I love on this album. Right now I got a couple of favorites. It's Trail of Love. I love Go Getter. I love Te Necesito. Almost is a fun one. It's a sad one, but it's a good one to play. We're gonna play most of them tonight, but again, my producer Roger Brown, we came out with How the River Flows, the River Continues, and we didn't know what we were doing for the next one, but we just started writing.
Bien. Dans la majorité de tes chansons, on sent la présence hispanique de Just an Answer Expression. Quel est le plus que cela apporte dans ton style?
Well, this was Roger's kind of wild thinking was, we need you to stand out by yourself. How do we do that? Well, let's tip the hat to your upbringing of 90s country music, and let's tip the hat to your culture. And be able to blend the two without making fun of it or being corny or cheesy, and so we had to find a way to kind of make it my sound and unique sound. So that's all Roger's crazy thinking, and it's been successful, and so I owe it to him. He's been able to establish me as an artist first and foremost, and not just a guy that can sing country music. It's an artist, and so that's why there's a lot of pressure being able to get on stage and perform exactly what we're doing because of what we were able to produce on Pushing Borders.
Les artistes, pourquoi la musique originaire du Texas se différencie-t-elle de celle produite à Nashville?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I think nowadays they're kind of coinciding together a little bit, but I think originally the Texas style was there's no red tape, there's nothing there. Whatever you want to write and sing, whatever gravitates to the audience is what you do. I like to kind of blend the two. Yes, I'm from Texas. I represent the great state of Texas, but my country music is traditional. It's neo-traditional, and it has flavors, and I hope that I can create my own lane and be a trailblazer for those that kind of want to do what I'm doing.
So it's neither Texas music nor Nashville music, it's Castillo's.
Exactly. It's Matt Castillo music. That's what the artist is. And so I go to Nashville to record my music, but I get to represent the great state of Texas.
That's what George Strait.
Exactly. So George Strait, that's what it is. So that's the best way I can describe it.
Quel est ton avis sur le mouvement Red Dirt? That's Oklahoma.
Yeah. We go play in Oklahoma, and we've had some good success, and we're growing. To me, Red Dirt is your cross Canadian guys, Jason Boland. In your face. I don't care what you tell me, I'm going to do it. And so I love that it has its own, as I call it, ecosystem. It has its own way of doing things, and if you want to dip your toes in it, you're more than welcome to. If you don't, it's fine, but they're still going to carry on, and I dig it. I dig the rebelness that they have to it. So.
La différence, I'm going to translate that in English.
Okay.
La différence entre ce que j'ai pu savoir entre la France et le Texas notamment, c'est que quand il y a des concerts, la majorité des amateurs de musique country en France ont plus de 50, 60 ans, alors qu'au Texas, ce sont des jeunes gens de 20, 25 ans et principalement des filles. So, these guys are a bit old. But
my demographic is a little bit the older demographic for sure. You're looking at 35 to 55, just based on the sound of the music and what it offers. It'd be great to, have the 18 to 23-year-olds, but we're not there yet. But I like what I have right now.
The problem is that they don't listen to music.
Yeah, exactly. They need to be schooled They need to be schooled on some good
lyrics,
country. But here's one thing I love about my fan base and what I've been able to have is that they're able to spend more money, right? So they buy a ticket, and then they come to the show, they buy merchandise that help me stay on the road. But then we get compliments from the bars like, man, you just outsold the last band that just came in, because your crowd is a drinking crowd. It's a blessing. They're hard workers. They're blue collar people that it's awesome. So I'd rather take that for a little bit before get those teenage girls that do nothing.
C'est la première fois que tu viens en France. Vas-tu faire une petite halte touristique? That's number 10.
Oh, number 10. Okay. Yes.
Oh, yes, we missed number. Don't worry, we missed number 9. But go with number 10.
Okay. So this is my first time in France, and I couldn't be here without Miss Grant here. She stuck her neck out.
Well, you're lucky.
I'm very
You're
lucky.
lucky.
She stuck her neck out for me and told me about this a long time ago, and I thought it was going to be a long shot. And once we got the call that it's for sure, I was excited, and I knew where we were. We were in Galveston when I got the news that she told me, and we were going to France. And so it's my first time, and I've loved every second of it. I do have a couple little things we're going to do before I go back to the States, before things get really busy.
She asked me if I had a lot of addresses of festivals and places to play, and I promised that as soon as I get her, I would send her.
Oh, love that. Yes, that's amazing. No, she's great at what she does, and like I said, I knew where I was when she told me, and we wanted to make it a vacation out of it, because when we get back home, we're on the road for the next 3 months.
You've been working hard.
Yeah, for this new album. And as soon as I get home, I go to Nashville and I do stuff for the new album. We get back, we're touring, and we got shows. So I'm gonna soak it all in to get as much of a touristy that I can be. You know, hopefully I don't stand out like a sore thumb, but it's gonna be fun.
So we go back to number 9. Que fait Matt lorsqu'il n'est pas en tournée? Quels sont tes loisirs?
You know, it's funny. I don't do anything.
So you don't go fishing or
I
hunting?
don't. So there's this running joke going around saying, you have that song "Go Getter," right? And they said, if you're such a go-getter, then why don't you have any hobbies, right?
Right, yeah.
And I sat down. It hit me. I was like, you know what? I don't have any hobbies. When I'm at home, we're either cooking, just lounging around, not really doing anything. It's so weird. I wish I had more hobbies, but to me, I'm so focused on my career that I figured this is a hobby, right? Like, I kind of can join it together.
It's not like working in a factory.
Right, like we got here a day or two. Yes, like we got here a day or two early. Like the hobby was to drink beer. Yeah, that sounds weird. Eat food. Yeah. Right. Meet people. Yes, soak it all in. But when I'm at home, I don't really do too much.
Merci beaucoup, Matt. C'était un honneur de faire cette interview pour nous. Can you say something in French? Il va nous dire quelques petits mots en français.
C'était. Wait.
Santé.
Santé. Sorry. Santé. Sorry. Vive France.
Oh, that's it. Comment ça va?
Comment ça va?
That's it. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.